Thousands and thousands of fourth grade students across Nebraska are learning a lot these days about agriculture.
And about how important it is to the state. It's because of a new program, the Ag Sack Lunch Program.
Yeah, it's right there. Here to tell us about it from the Nebraska Soybean Board. Welcome Lisa Lunds alongside Amanda Bergstrom. Thanks for being here this morning on the Morning Blend.
Yes, good morning.
First, let's get right to it. What is an Ag Sack Lunch? And you brought one today sitting right there on the table.
Yes, we actually did bring one along with us. And the Ag Sack Lunch is the key part of the whole program. The kids come in to the Capitol building, they get a tour, and then at the end of it, they get to rummage through our little Ag Sack Lunch, and they get all sorts of fun products made right here in Nebraska. And while they're doing that, we give a presentation on the importance of agriculture.
What's in the sack? There's a sandwich?
Mike's hungry.
My stomach is growling.
Do you notice he hasn't had breakfast?
Yes, brought it just for him. Got
some
chips.
And the Fritos, because it's a corn-based product.
Yes.
And then all of the sandwiches are ham, turkey, or roast beef. So they get to choose from our main products in Nebraska. And then along with that, they get a fun little deck of cards. Each of them do, and it's called our Crazy Soybean Deck.
All right.
And it's all about crazy eggs.
This is great because honestly, this is a tool not just for the kids to enjoy while they're rummaging through lunch, but you also want them to take the deck of cards home and use it as a tool with their parents.
Yes, we want them to take it home and play. It's called the Crazy 8 game, and it's like our Crazy Soybean game, and it's like the Crazy 8 game. And then each, there's four, instead of subjects, we have beef, pork, dairy, and poultry. The four, livestock groups, and then there's egg facts on each card. So every card has an interesting fact on it.
All right, so here we have these. Are these the sort of blown up images? What are we looking
Like
at?
on that one right
This
there.
one?
Yep.
Yeah. Aren't these fun?
So
and again, you're targeting fourth graders, but when they go home and they play with these and the parent says, hey, what do you have there?
So hopefully the parents will play too, and then they'll get an opportunity to share all the egg facts with them.
Yeah, well, I think adults and kids both learning something
yes.
here, right?
Tell us how this all came about, because fourth graders in Nebraska, that's the year where they kind of make the trek to the state capitol and check it out. And so it's a perfect opportunity to share these lunches with them. How did it's something you've been working on for a while?
Well, I'm a member of the Nebraska Soybean Board, and we've sponsored some roundtables the last few years and talk about animal ag and consumer education in the state. And after one of those, there was a group of us talking about how can we educate the youth. And when our children were in school, they went to the Capitol in fourth grade. And the first time our oldest took a lunch, the second time our son took money. And I thought, so we talked about all these kids coming to fourth grade, coming to the state Capitol. What if we'd offer the teachers a lunch, because that would help them out, and then be able to take some time and talk about the importance of agriculture and where our food comes from. Because some kids, think milk comes from the grocery store, or they don't understand that ham comes from pork. So we thought maybe this was an opportunity to educate them at this time.
So how many kids have you reached so far?
Well, it's kind of been interesting. We started out with a budget for 1,700 kids, and we sent letters out in September, and by the first day we had more than that registered. So we've ended up, we're going to, between October and May, we'll have served 4,000 sack lunches to fourth graders.
It's nice to have the response be so much stronger.
Yes.
Maybe not for your budget, but it's nice to be able to get your message out to so many more kids.
It's a great way to spread the message.
Yes.
What are the kids saying about it?
Well, Amanda can answer that better than me.
Yes, they're really excited about it. We've had a lot of different responses from students. We actually had a couple teachers from the Omaha area that said some of their students had never been outside of Omaha before. They had never heard about agriculture, so the students are really excited to learn that what they're eating has all these different names and comes from all these areas. And I'm from a small town, so I get to tell some of my stories, and they're pretty excited to hear about that. So.
I think you have a story about a pig, don't you, that you share with the kids sometimes that they get a kick out of?
At the end of the presentation, I tell them some stories about my older brother and his experiences attempting to ride some of our livestock. And they just get a big kick out of it that they think someone could actually attempt that, and his fumbles with that one.
How did it turn out for him?
Not so well. He got knocked off, yes.
Yeah, a little less dignity and a few bruises to boot. So you say you're reaching kids in Omaha. It's schools all over the state, though, really?
Yes. I'm from Wakefield, Nebraska, which is in the northeast corner, and our school will be coming in the spring. And so we're targeting Omaha and small schools, basically the eastern third, because of their proximity to the Capitol. And I failed to mention earlier that the Nebraska pork producers is also a partner in this, and we've been working with them to make this happen, and they've been very helpful in getting this all put together.
You bet. We enjoy their products. And
How long will you continue this? I mean, there's a great response. You could feed kids, fourth graders, for a long time.
Well, that's my comment. You know, every year you have a new group of fourth graders. And so it kind of started out as a pilot program to see if we had any interest. Well, obviously there's interest out there. So right now we are planning on talking to a few other commodity boards and see if we can, you know, increase our funding or how we're going to do it. And hopefully we can continue to find the funds and continue the program.
Well,
that's a great program.
Important work indeed, and clearly for the kids. But when you take the cards home and the parents start to get the message as well,
yes.
The things we take for granted, we start to realize, yeah, it directly affects all of us. It affects our economy, it affects what we know, and how we appreciate what we eat and use. So we appreciate your time here today.
Yeah, to learn more about
home,
those foods. Yeah, NebraskaSoybeans.org is your website.
Yes.
And for any fourth grade teachers who still may be interested in this program,
Can they get in?
Can they still get in?
Not this year.
Maybe
They
next
can't
year.
get in, but hopefully next year. So we're working on that at this time.
All right, so if you are a fourth grade teacher, you know someone who is, keep an eye on NebraskaSoybeans.org for more details as we get into next year. Thank you both for being here.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate your
Thank
time.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Do you want to leave the cereal
Yes.
treat for Mike?
You guys can have it.
She's always thinking, she's always thinking about
Well,
it.
and I think I'll leave the deck of cards also, so you can play Crazy Soybeans during your break.
Thank you very much. We showed you where to find the Nebraska Soybean Board online. You can also find us at OmahaMorningBlend.com. It's an easy way to stay connected to the show, see clips, and learn more about our guests. That's OmahaMorningBlend.com.